So it's no longer mandatory to wear a mask to the supermarket, to wear a mask to church. It's no longer mandatory to wear a mask outside. Hey guys, welcome back to our channel. It's your girl Trisha, and today guys I'll be telling you a little bit about, or rather all that you need to know about the new Cayman COVID regulations. So guys, I'll be talking about the updated corona regulations as of June 30, 2022. I'll be talking about the regulations pertaining to travel, as well as the regulation pertaining to the community. Guys, if you have not yet subscribed, please hit that subscription button down below. Please like out the video guys, share, comment and subscribe. So guys, as of June 30, the Cayman Islands has amended their travel regulations. We all know that every country have their own set of regulations, and it is very important for you to know the regulations so as not to break them. As of June 30, 2022 guys, as it pertains to travel, I'm sure that you guys want to know who can travel. Can anyone travel? All vaccinated persons can travel to the Cayman Islands. The Caymanians, residents and work permit holders can travel. Unvaccinated visitors who have close ties to the Cayman Islands, that is, persons who own local properties and businesses, or who are a spouse, civil partner, parent, step-parent, child, grandchild, stepchild, or grandparent of a Caymanian or a resident. So persons that have very close ties to a Caymanian or a resident can travel to the Cayman Islands, as well as unvaccinated children under the age of 12 and cruise travelers. Yes guys, cruise travelers. So if you're thinking of booking a cruise to the Cayman Islands, come right ahead. Persons that cannot travel to the Cayman Islands are unvaccinated tourist visitors, including unvaccinated tourist visitor age 12 and over who do not have close ties to the Cayman Islands. And I just listed before persons that can travel, right? Persons that have close ties. Are you a spouse or a civil partner? Are you the grandparent or a child of a resident or a Caymanian? That means that you can travel. But if it is that you are a friend of a friend of a friend, possibilities are you cannot. If you are unvaccinated, you cannot travel to the Cayman Islands. So unvaccinated visitors and persons with close ties to the Cayman Islands who are under 12 years should apply on the Travel Cayman portal and will be issued a travel declaration which is required for entry. So yes guys, the Travel Cayman portal is still a thing, and you do need to apply if you're thinking of traveling to the Cayman Islands. We'll assume the vaccine. So children traveling with a accompanying adult will assume the status of the adult, meaning that if the child is under 12 and is traveling with someone that is vaccinated, will assume the vaccination status of the adult. But if the adult is unvaccinated, then the child will assume the unvaccinated status of the adult. Traveling unaccompanied and residing with persons ages 12 and over who are unvaccinated is required to complete a mandatory quarantine period of 7 days. Applying to travel. All travelers are required to apply on the Travel Cayman portal and will be issued with a travel certificate which is required for entry. So guys, you still need to apply to the Travel Cayman portal. Unvaccinated travelers, including children, are required to apply on the Travel Cayman portal 5 days prior to departing for the islands and will be issued with a travel certificate which is required for entry. So I assume that, as time goes by, probably this will become a thing of the past, but for now it is still a requirement for you guys to apply to the Travel Cayman portal. Vaccinated travelers, however, should apply no less than 72 hours. So vaccinated travelers 72 hours, whilst unvaccinated travelers is 5 days. Guys, this is the big news, right? What you guys are, a lot of persons have been waiting for. Guys, it's no longer a requirement for you to do a pre-arrival testing. It's no longer a requirement for you guys to do a PCR test. So I know that this has been very expensive for a lot of people, especially in Jamaica. I know that person would have to pay $20,000. That was the going rate to do a PCR test just to travel. But no, guys, that's now a thing of the past. There is no longer a requirement for the PCR test. It's not a requirement, guys. Upon arrival in the Cayman Islands, the medical officer of health strongly recommends for persons to do a lateral flow test daily, at least for the first 7 days of being in the island. For quarantining now, guys, as it regards to quarantining, 7 days of quarantine is required for unvaccinated travelers age 12 years and over. However, it is not required for unvaccinated Caymanians, residents, and work permit holders. So though unvaccinated household members are not required to quarantine, they will be required to undergo a daily lateral flow test for the first 7 days. Yes, guys, you can pack, that cruise ship, right? Cruise ships are allowed now in the Cayman Islands. You can come to the Cayman Islands if it is that you are planning a cruise ship vacation. I'm just going to be touching on a few points as it regards to the new COVID regulations in the community. So as it regards to mask and face coverings, a mandatory mask wearing requirements in the Cayman Islands has been removed. So it's no longer mandatory to wear a mask to the supermarket, to wear a mask to church. It's no longer mandatory to wear a mask outside. However, guys, businesses, right, have the right to tell you that you should wear a mask in order to partake of their establishment, right? So owners have the right to tell persons that they should wear a mask. For example, owners that operate healthcare facility like the hospital, residential home care facility, prisons, or place of detention may require you wearing a mask. So guys, if it is that you do test positive for corona, this is the new regulation. If you test positive, guys, and you're in Cayman Islands, you are now required to isolate for a period of not less than 7 days if it is that you are vaccinated. If it is that you're unvaccinated, you are required to isolate for a period of 9 days. First, guys, you have to do a lateral flow test. If that is positive, then you are required to go to HSA COVID testing center to confirm it via PCR test. And vaccinated persons who are primary contacts of COVID-19 positive persons must conduct daily lateral flow tests for 6 days, but may continue to do their usual activities. So if it is that you're in a household with 3 persons and 2 persons have corona or COVID, if it is that you are negative, you can still go out maskless and do your daily activities, but you are required to do a lateral flow test on a daily basis. Guys, there's been a lot of changes, but the other big development is that after isolating for a period of 7 days, you're no longer required to do a test, another PCR test to confirm that you are negative. So you're just required to isolate for the 7 days if you're vaccinated, and the 9 days if you're unvaccinated, and then you can exit. So I guess whether or not you're still showing positive, you're no longer required to, to stay in isolation. So guys, those were the big developments. Those were the new changes in the laws and the rules and the regulations as regards to the COVID protocols in the Cayman Islands. The 3 takeaway is that you're no longer required to do a PCR test when coming to the Cayman Islands. Another thing is that the mask mandate has been lifted, and also up on the completion of the coronavirus isolation period, you're no longer required to do an exit PCR test. So guys, I really do hope that you enjoyed this video. I hope that you'll find it to be very informative. So if it is that you're planning to book your ticket, if you're a close family member, of course, or if it is that you are planning to book that cruise, you can do it. There is no longer, the PCR test is no longer a requirement. Guys, I really do hope that you enjoyed this video. Until next time, bye guys.